In this update, there's been some major changes to the Sproket Knowledge Hub reading list functionality. Let's go through and point out the changes. So first of all, you'll notice that the reading list admin is now accessible from this command bar rather than via Sproket settings. If I open that up, you can see we've introduced a more simplified interface. So now we're presented with a list of reading lists. If I was to go through and create a new reading list, I can give it a name. So here I can select the relevant pages. I can select the audience type. It's now defaulting to users and groups instead of just users. There's now an option for fresh reads. So basically, if people have already read some of these pages in the past, do we want to force them to reread them? So if an assignee has already read the page after this date, then they would be considered to be read. So if they have read it since the first, then that's okay. If not, we need them to reread them. Do we want to assign a due date? When is it due? Let's say by the end of the month. And we can now also assign admins to reading lists. Also, the introduction of a status. Before you could only delete reading lists. Now you can actually make them inactive. You can still delete them, but you can also make them inactive if you wish. If I go into this rule again, so you can see all the settings there. There's a new tab up here for notifications. This is for admins. So I was the only admin listed in this particular reading list. So I could get a daily summary from today at a particular time of the day, say 6 AM every day, to send me a list of the people who are not yet compliant on this particular read list. From a reports perspective, we can see all the people that are assigned to this particular read list, and we can check the status. So if we go through to my account, for example, you can see all the pages that have been read, on what date they have been read. You can see there's only one page or one article that's still required to be read by Trent. There's been some enhancements to the reporting, so the detail now brings through more relevant information. There's also been an update to the reading list panel, so you can see any pages that are unread and the pages that are read with the relevant due dates there. The other thing to mention is around the reminders. So admin can define the reminders for the audiences. So this is defined at the sort of the site level to say, do we want to send out a scheduled email? Say every day at 10 AM, we want to send out an email to each of those people to give them a reminder of their outstanding reads. Also, just worth pointing out that if you're a site collection administrator, you will always see the read list admin and you'll always see all of the reading lists. With the new feature of being able to define the list of admins, if you're not a site collection administrator and you are not an admin of any reading lists, then you won't see the read list admin icon on the command bar. However, if you are an admin and you have access to one or more reading lists, then you will see the button and you will see only the reading lists in which you are an admin of that reading list.